All right, fellow lords of gaming. So we're jumping in, and I want to talk to you about making this Vermilius gap crossing and to prepare yourself so that way you don't end up dead. Just a little tip and trick for you guys. So number one, in order to cross the Vermilius gap, you're going to need to have your bike. You can't do it without that. It is way too far of a distance. You will get eaten by a worm. So you're going to need your bike. But when you cross the gap, if you look at your journey log and it's basically saying, you know, moving on, you'll notice that one of the instructions there is going to be open the map and abandon your base in the Haga Basin South. What's going to end up happening is all of those items that are in the base still are going to get destroyed. And if you have anything in storage or so forth like that, you know, you don't want to make 2 trips back and forth to Haga Basin. Like, it's not necessary really. So you want to get rid or basically store the items that you're going to need and, you know, pare down on your inventory. So that's going to be a simple thing. You can install you don't really need the booster for your sand bike. You can pretty much do this with just your bike, and then your inventory will have an additional 15 spaces, and it can store up to 250 in terms of volume. So this would be a great place to put any of your granite, copper ores, things like that, you know, things that are going to be required to fabricate your base or fabricate any of the items, like, you know, the things in your base as well. So I would take a look at your storage, pair out what salvage materials, what things like that you'll need. You'll be able to tell immediately the types of things that you can and can't carry in there, because your storage units that you have, they can store 192 or 250. I won't lie to you guys, that is a very small volume. Like, I'm not even exactly sure why we have volumes there. I would rather we just have like slots, and I wish we had more slots to store things against instead of just the 10 slots, but it's there. So essentially what you want to do, however, though, is you want to basically look at that volume and get you know, somewhat split out between granite, your salvage materials. You're definitely going to want the granite, and I'm going to explain why you want the granite. The reason is the last time I did this and I crossed the Vermilius gap, what ended up happening was there was a sandstorm that happened immediately, and if I had not used my Solido replicator, then I would have been hurt in a major way, because it came up and it was like sandstorm imminent, and it was like 2 minutes. So one of the other things that you're going to want to do is make sure that inside your research tab that you go over to the construction and that you research the Solido replicator. What your Solido replicator is going to allow you to do is going to essentially copy the base that you currently have, and then that way it's going to store it as well. So then you can use that one to automatically push out that same image, and you'll have that full base. And that way you can just use the granite from the base that the granite that you have inside your supplies inventory, and you'll just basically be able to build that base right there. And then from there you can build your foundation out. So this is a really good way, because trust me, what you don't want to do is, it's not necessarily guaranteed that you're going to cross the Vermilius gap and there's going to be a sandstorm. I'm just saying that you want to be prepared for all aspects of this. So I would say get a Solido replicator, copy the base, really easy to use. You can see here I have mine activated, and then you can basically go out here and you see now it's allowing me to place it because I have one stored. Now it's real easy for this, because all you have to do is, when you set that Solido replicator, is just going to build this. All you're going to do with it originally is you're going to copy. It's going to remember the blueprint of that base, and then you can copy that, and then when you put the advanced subfief down, you can then use this. The great thing about this with the replicator is that it's going to help you when you go to the deep desert as well, because you'll basically be able to create a smaller base unit, remember that blueprint, and when you go to the deep desert, you can gather up the materials needed, and you can use the Solido replicator to just put a base out there. That's essentially what you want to use that for. It's going to be a real easy tool to basically use. So make sure you get the Solido replicator. And then, like I said, the next things is going to be your storage and so forth. The largest, heaviest items that you're going to have is if you have any of your fuel cells, because you're definitely going to want want to make sure that you carry some of these fuel cells with you. You shouldn't need too many of them. Like right now, you can see I've got like 845 fuel cells that are inside the consumables. I don't need 845 necessarily of these. 100 of them should be good enough, so that way you'll find more fuel cells in the area and basically build them up. But everything else in your base, destroy them, so that way you can get the materials from them, and then you'll basically be able to do that. I hope that helps you at least to understand how you're supposed to be making that trip across the Vermilius Gap, because trust me, you don't want to basically go across there and then have to make the trip back or lose any of these valuable materials that you spent time collecting. You're going to want these small vehicle fuel cells. You're going to want your spice infused copper dust. You're going to want all of these advanced servox, all of these mechanical parts, your plastic steels, all of those things you're going to want to make sure that you take with you. So I hope this helps, and if it does, then great. If it didn't, then I apologize about that again. But all right, guys, I'm going to keep streaming, and I hope you guys join over on the live stream and join me. I've got a fairly irregular schedule, but I'm just pretty regular about the times I'm trying to stream Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, so let's get this going. All right, so the first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm looking at what I have currently on my person, and I'm maxing out at 175. So that means that I'm going to hold on to the things that I can hold on to on my person that are going to be values for me. So let's take the leader johns. Let's take my binos out of there. Let's take the particle capacitors, the mechanical parts, the plastic steel. Jesus, 72. What was I doing with these? We'll come back to taking a look at those. Let's take a look at these here. I want to hold these on me, the Holtzman replicators, yeah. The advanced servox, and I definitely want to hold those on me as well. Let's put the sand bike on me. Let's hold the EMF generators, these, and my copper ingots. This improvised power pack for sure. All right, so those should be all the things I should be able to hold for me from there. The 300 so units, those should be enough for me to hold on to. If we have room for more, then we'll do those. But let's salvage out the remaining things inside of here. So I need my construction tool. Where are you at? There you go. Okay, so construction tool. We're gonna just demolish this and that one. All right, we'll leave those in play. The only reason why I'm demolishing them is hoping to reclaim some of the materials from those. So what we want to do, why did I do that? I'm such an idiot. I meant to transfer items before I did that. Stupid me. All right, so let's see. This is gonna be set. That's too heavy, so we're gonna have to put some items down. So let's do these. Let's deposit you. Let's deposit you. And let's deposit you, because we know we're gonna carry that on me. And then we'll take the salvage metal. Yeah, let's put the salvage metal inside of here. It's funny how this bikes move sometimes. Look at. I'm stuck. And I can't get off now. It's comical sometimes. It is comical. Come on. All right. There we go. All right. Get off the bike. right, so let's deposit that. We're gonna hold on to you inside here. I think we definitely want to take the small vehicle fuel cell, the plant fibers, copper ore should be. So let's take these. Oh, shit. What I should have did is use those already, but stupid me. Okay. Definitely the armor plating as well. Take those. We'll take the fuel cells. Take the granite. I'm going to need more granite. Definitely going to need more granite. All right, so we're getting pretty full on the items here. We're down in weight, but we're losing out on room to store stuff. We only got 6 slots left. Let's take a look at this. So nothing in that one. We can demolish it. We'll take this. I don't think we need that much scrap metal. We definitely want to have these on ourselves and those. So let's see what we can store over here. Get off the bike. So we've hit the max on this one in terms of storage capacity, mostly because of the salvage metal. We could potentially get rid of the salvage metal, to be honest with you. I think that's probably smarter, so that way we have room to store. Yeah, let's... because we're going to want those copper agates, so we'll just drop these salvage metals here. There we go. Because we definitely want you. And what do we have for the vehicle? Let's see. All right, so we got 227 and we've got some room for us as well. So what I want to do is I want to go grab some granite really quickly. Let's go out here. So if you explored the area, you should have gotten the Sims cutter, and that one is going to help you get your granite and your coppers and things like that with mass. So hope you did that. I think that's some granite over there. Let's go hide out in the sun real quick. I'm just very wary about getting over there and catching a sandstorm, because it happened to me. I was like really, really nervous about what I was going to lose. And I realized I could have just did a better job at preparing, and I didn't. And I wouldn't have been in that situation if I had prepared appropriately. So this time I'm going to prepare, and I think it's going to be a little bit harder for me to find spots because there's so many people that's on the server right now that we could potentially have a hard time finding spots. So we might end up having to travel a little bit. It's about 260. We'll go to just about when we're heavy, and that way I can just redistribute some. The copper, if I remember correctly, pretty easy to find. I don't want to mess around with these people. I do love this Empress Wings'. Dispenser belt. Oh, there goes some over there. And you should be preparing your base as if the next one is going to be your actual base. Well, that was silly. I can't believe it did that. That was odd. It scanned it and put it on the other side. There was an update that they did last night as well, but one of the things I did notice as well with the game is they're going to have to rethink, at least in my opinion, they're going to have to rethink the server structure, because while I haven't noticed necessarily logging in being too problematic, when I consider the fact that there's a queue for me to log into a server that's supposed to have 40 bodies on the siege, but hosting more than that, that means that we're going to end up having problems. So they're going to want to figure that one out for sure. All right, so we've got 225 with a little room to spare for us. And then on our bike, let's see. On our bike, we got about 297. We're pretty stacked up and full. We got some copper. We've got fuel cells, so we'll immediately be able to build. We've got some salvaged metal. We've got copper agates. We've got some spice copper dust. Could use a whole lot more than that. And so we should be pretty good to go. So the rest of this base, let's just demolish some stuff, the remaining things that's here. It just gives us a little bit more salvage metal. And let's see what happens if we demolish that. And you can see here the fuel cells that were remaining are there. So I can't take all of them apparently. Okay. Yeah, 482 fuel cells. Can't do anything with it. All right, no problem. And then we got some salvage metal here. Now, if somebody was in the area, I could have conceivably given them those items, I guess. All right. And so, as usual with games like these, you can see why I did what I did, and it makes it a little bit easier because now the bike isn't, too burdened, and I'm not burdened, and we can make our way out of here. Jesus. Definitely got to make a actual bike ramp. We want to change out our construction tool to the Solido replicator. So we need to make our crossing. I think when I made the crossing the last time, I was somewhere over here. So that's where we're going to go, because that allows us to just go here, here, and then up this way. You're blocking the path, my friend. We're leaving the Haga Basin. We'll probably end up coming back here, though, because I want to complete those areas. Alrighty, let's do this. Damn, I didn't have any water. I guess at this point it's not going to really make a difference. Alright, so let's boogie. Oh wait, shit. Didn't even put a marker for me to go to. Let's just say we're going that direction. There we go. I don't really think that, you necessarily have a problem of making it. I feel like it's like every time you do that, you're going to end up seeing it. So it's one of those things. So we've made it to Eastern Vermilion and the Gap. There was that breach. Essentially, you're now looking for a place that you can call home. You're going to have actual more things, markers and stuff like that, that you should be looking out for surviving for. You'll notice here new research options like the advanced construction kit is immediately going to be available to you. So you definitely want to unlock that immediately. And then as you go through some of the other items, you'll notice that those will get unlocked as you complete the journey for moving on as well. But the advanced construction toolkit is now available to you. That's going to allow you to do two things, which is A, you're going to get out there and be able to do, you're going to be able to get out there and do the, get out there and do the building, and you're going to be able to put down sub feasts as well. So I'm trying to think. I cannot remember, to be honest. I set up pretty early here, but I was pretty much along the southern ridge of this.
Enemy found.
Here, bro. Yeah, it was right in that gap. So as long as you're like moving around, you can set up a temporary base. Be careful for these little sand traps right here because they're gonna call the worms. And definitely be careful for them. Shit, shit, shit. Whew. Did not want to get caught by those dudes because they launched Sardaukar for you, essentially. I believe there's a camp here for... Yep, we're gonna build right here. We are going to build right here because I like the way this area looks. Even though there's no resources nodes here necessarily, I want to build into this whole cliff wall right here. We're gonna see how that works out. I wish my boy Birdie was on because he's a lot better at this building type stuff than I am. But the look of being able to build into that whole rock enclave kind of gets me going. So you're going to need your projection tool. We're not going to use a Celito projector since we don't need to have that immediately. We need our, there we go, construction tool. 5. And so you can see here we've got the subfief console, but where is our advanced console? There it goes. All right. So you can see how much of an area this covers as opposed to what you had covered before. So we're gonna escape out of this. I'm talking. So you can see how that is like now. So you want to be cognizant of what the area is covering, because like if you want to do something like what I'm doing and where I want to kind of build into this mountain structure over here, because that's kind of what I want to do. I want to get into this building, but the placement of that is blocked. You can see it's not stopping me from building there. It's just it won't allow me to place this on any place that's not flat. There you go. So like if I wanted to, I can do that and just place this in here. No, get down from there. Let's go up a little bit. There we go. Whoa. Oh, I forgot that it does this.
You might have seen my little pyrotechnics display, Off-Worlder. But whether you did or not, the long and short of it is that I must go. And quickly. The Sardaukar have my scent, and the Emperor's hounds are not known for their mercy. I do not know when we will meet again.
So, yeah, he leaves us now in the Vermilius
Continue
Gap.
to follow your path. Let the desert teach you as you walk in the footsteps of the Fremen. Find allies. It is hard to survive without friends. And remember, Arrakis will sharpen you, off-worlder. Make sure you become the right kind of blade.
It's funny because he doesn't necessarily tell us what he's talking about. So I'm doing this because I want to show you guys that you can essentially use this now. Whew. Is there a camp up here? Look at that camp right here. So we can go up to the highest peak because that's what we're going to do, and we can shoot off our probe. Oops. Ah, damn, I thought that was going to be tall enough. An additional 50 meters. You know what I'm going to do? Let's go down here. Oh, damn. Shit. Heal. Should have grabbed some water. Oh, I see what's happening. I'm all out of freaking water, so my stamina's going down a little quicker. I'm not going to be able to get up higher. Let's get out of this. Here we go. So right here by the Vermilius Gap. It's sort of like resource dense over here. We're gonna set up right at the base of this mountain. Do not try to make that jump. We will be dead. More iron right here, right above us. So there's at least some iron deposits here. We got some granite. I know where we are. Oh no. I need some water bad. All right, let's get our thing out here. Oh, it's not gonna let me place you here. There it goes. I was like, what the heck's going on? So let's go here, and we're gonna have to abandon this base. And so now we have new research. So now we can build this base effectively. So let's get this going, because otherwise we're gonna die. Q. All right.
Hello.
Everybody's being so friendly. All right. We're gonna make changes, but for now, let's go with that. Did we run out of granite already? That was surprising. Wait, was this my bike? Oh, shit. No, my bike is over here. Whew. That's my bike. Okay. We need some more granite. Thought for sure that would have been enough granite. I think this is iron. Good on us for iron deposits for sure. We are going to make changes, so can I build any storage? We're gonna have to collect a lot of granite. Now, be mindful as well that the larger your base, the more taxation you're gonna have. So you're gonna have to come up with way more Solari. This whole time I'm running around thirsty and I got a goddamn liter jar of water. Preparation. I did all that to falsely prepare. All right. All right, so now we should have enough fuel cells. We're gonna go with 4 of these this time. That's why I didn't have enough granite. I forgot I split up the granite. I'm such a freaking moron. Okay, that should take care of everything on my person. There we go. Just dump these fuel cells in here. That gets all of those. Okay, so now we can look at our... So now you essentially have like the option to explore what it is that you want to build in your base. Heal kits, Holtzman shields finally are available to you, so you can build those. You got the iron ingots, we got those nearby. You can get the cutter array Mark II. We already have a pretty decent one, but this one's going to help us out. So you probably can skip this one if you got the sim one, because you can already farm, you know, what you call it. And I don't think this one is going to give you any more iron ingots than what the cutter array will do. You got your EMF generators, which are going to help for those repair stations, and even larger scale chests are going to require iron agates. So your power pack Mark II, so we're going to have to do a bunch of that stuff as well. The advanced construction kit, we already have. I think we already unlocked this one. Yeah, so that gives us access to the Chome facility set. So we're gonna have to build up a whole bunch of this stuff, and we'll see how that goes. So let's get into that one. So what are we gonna... We're gonna need a few of these items. Like, I know the power pack is something we're gonna need, so we might as well research that for sure. We're gonna want the repair station for sure as well. We're gonna want these bigger chests. We need this compactor. Oh, it's locked. We can't do it till later. I want this med kit for sure. The Holtzman shield for sure. Dew Reaper. Definitely the new blood purifier. Definitely the new blood extractor. Definitely the Dew Reaper, because that's going to be helpful for our leader Johns. Because I want to get to here, so we need 7 more points that we need to spend for this, and then we can unlock that. I don't think we need that one, to be perfectly honest. We do want to get a better bike. Yeah, so we'll do those. That should unlock the construction set for us for this. Ah, damn. Need that one, but we got to get to steel for that one anyway, so... Oh, I didn't realize with the pinner shield we needed to have that be steel agates. Shit. Okay. No worries. We'll just put a door on here. All right. So this will serve like our pseudo foyer, let's say. We're gonna build so that way we can go into that cropping up there. But all right, so that's what we have so far. I'm gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So I was doing some more building over there and I ran out of granite. There's some things that we need some iron for. So what we're going to start doing is this. Let's go in the building. So let's see what iron and what granite we can find. We're just gonna start picking up stuff like granite and iron and copper to bring back to the base now, because you can see our base is coming out. Like I said, I'm gonna build a base going into that wall right there. So this should be our first bit of iron, I think. Yep. There should be some copper. We can start picking up fuel cells too. Go. So we're gonna have to be careful, because now that you've made it to this area, Vermilion, you're gonna notice that there's a lot more of these outcroppings of enemies. Shit, I forgot my knife was almost broken. Make sure he don't come back alive. Because it's crazy that they have it like this, but what would you expect to have Dune? It's not like there's going to be any worlds necessarily, or like, you know, cities and stuff like that. Like you got Arakeen Harko Village Limited.
Someone's here.
I gotta get a new knife. Whew. So you can see they start to get some of the same abilities as you did. I don't know why it makes sense that smugglers have the abilities of the Bene Gesserit. Like, it sort of bothered me, but I guess it is what it is. Jesus. We want that flower sand, so he's got a little base going himself there. What is this? Is this iron? All right, we gotta take all this back to base. I just really wanted to get like a base that's semi-established so that way I'm happy with where I'm coming back to. If that makes sense. Whew. Make a quick deposit. It's one of these. There we go. All right, let's finish out what we were. Oh, what the hell just happened? 5. We get a roof. We get another roof. Definitely another roof here. So that's going to help us come up this way. And then we can build back into that. Is this my bike? Whose bike is this? Oh. There we go. Oh, oops. There we go. All right. So we've got a 2-story floor base right now. We're going to seal this up for now. That's where we're going to have a stairs. And then we'll demolish this right here. That allows us to go downstairs. There we are. So now we can go this way. We'll eventually get to the 3rd floor by doing that. But for now, that's what we have in here. There we go. Alrighty. So let's see why. Man, we need steel ingots for that. So we gotta craft, we need iron ingots. So we need to craft, or build rather, a let's deposit blood in here. Five, we need to craft, what is it? Not the repair station. Not the fabricator. There we are. Let's do our little refinery stuff up here on the second deck. So we can make copper agates, we can make iron agates. Wow. Jesus. That's going to be expensive. So we can't do that quite yet. Oh, we need those though. That's crazy. So it's 25. What did we say here? 25 water to make one iron ingot. That's a lot. Water is going to be life. Wait, is this not sealed off? Let's change that. 5. There we go. Okay. Same over here. There we go. What the hell happened here? How did I get a floor? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because I can replace these.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
We need a wind. So we've got lighting. The terrarium Moadib is from
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm.
okay, so there's plenty of items we can craft in here. Small storage, Caladan bullfighter. That dude left his bike out there? Oh no. Damn, bro. That's perfect though. Like, we're gonna take a look at that when this sandstorm passes, because that's gonna be messed up, man. That's gonna be messed up. So we can change into some of these. We've got like the walls as well. Okay, so we got Caladan passive walls. Oh, that's right. We got the Caladan set from, I totally forgot about this. We got the Caladan. What is the health one easier? Yeah, the 4,000. We got the Caladan set from making the pre-order. So we could actually change some of that stuff out for there. Okay, we even got a ladder. We've got some railing in here. Railing gate, rounded rails. Let's see what else we have. Foundation. Center columns, corner columns, pillars. Okay, so we got a normal door. I didn't even realize we had these rounded windows. I probably would have used those instead. We need this one. That's what I was looking for. Is this a passageway for us to just go through? A lot of wedges. So I could have probably used those to save off of stuff. Got a hatch. Inclines. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay. Let's go take a look at dude's thing because I feel bad for him, but he left it out. Damn, bro. I feel bad for dude. That thing's destroyed. Like you see, you can't do anything with it. Because it's not mine. Because I don't have permissions. I don't even think that's repairable. Alright. Yeah, that's probably not even repairable. Let me see. So the only way you can get in like that somebody's base is by doing that. Let me see. Do I have a leader John on me? All right, there we go. We'll give him the water and be a good player. Why does it not let me do it? Ready? What's going on, bro? Why does it not let me trade it? can just go back here. Deposit some blood. Get. All right. We're gonna end up having to make some lights for this base too. Because we have none right now, so... Alright, so we can't make iron ingots yet, and we need those because we want to craft a few things in here. But we have access to more things in here now. I could have sworn I got my Twitch rewards. Maybe something's not right because I'm not seeing them. Like I should have had the observer floor, the observer foundation, and the observer walls, but I'm not seeing them in my... Oh, there they are right there. Oops, wait, go back. There we go. So that's the observer foundation piece. There we go. Okay, do we have the observer walls? There we go. I want to see how this wall looks. Wall's pretty dope. So it was walls and the floor. Let's see. I mean, that's the observer foundation right there. Oh, there it is right there. No, that's a chrome hatch. Angled roof, angled corner. It's got to be in here somewhere. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So, but we have our base. This is good enough for us to... God, I gave him all my water. Drink what we can. Hopefully my suit has some too. Yeah, good. My suit has a lot. Doesn't give you as much as you would like it, but it's enough. What I do need to fabricate, however, is a blade. Because this blade is about to break. And I really wanted to do my holdsman, but without more water. And we need a lot of water, because if it's 25 per iron ingot, that's a lot. Ugh. Ah, screw it. We'll just make it. What is this? Oh, plant fibers to make the carpets. Nice. Oh, Birdie's gonna love this. So I can make a water cistern, but we got a fabricator. We don't really need the recycler right now. I have a feeling we're gonna need this, so we might as well make it right now. Actually, let's put this upstairs too. We're gonna demolish that wall. All right. Gun parts, blade parts. Oh, I should have gave him back his blood pack. Don't need those. We don't need those for now either. Blade mitigation +6, armor value 18. This one has an armor value. Nah, we're gonna need those. Let's keep those right now. Okay. We'll recycle this. See what we can get from it later. All right, we want to use our vehicle backup tool so we can store our vehicle. This is what he should have did. That's what he should have done. And he wouldn't be asked out a bike. This pack is about to die, but we got a separate one on us, so we'll use that. Actually, you know what? We'll just switch them out right now because it's pretty low. And we'll recycle that one later. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Time to make our way into the world. All right. So, number of outcroppings where we need to make our way to is here. So, we've got two places we need to go to. Our home is here. We should get a lot of shade because of the way the mountain's like there. I don't envision really moving but so often. We'll see how often we have to move. We got copper ore, granite stone, iron ore in this vicinity. And we got salvage metal, some granite, and there's a camp right up here with with EMF and microfibers, and then we've got an intel camp up here, and this place will be good for well. And then we have that intel camp. what I want to do is make my way to drop off this right here. So we're going to make our way over there. We got to be careful for all these drum sands that's in the ground, because those things are essentially going to call the worm to us, which is just terrible in and of itself. So let's make our way there. This is a Primrose field over here as well. All right. Look at that. Booyah. So it's good that this thing is here, because it'll keep doing that and we'll keep getting the Solari, and we'll keep getting the whatchamacallit. So yeah. But we're just going to keep building that base. We'll make changes to it so that way it just keeps growing into that cropping. Now we're going to have to be careful about the initial size of it, obviously, because oh shit, I forgot to switch out to this tool. Oh no, we'll keep that tool out because we don't need the construction tool. Yeah, we don't need the construction tool. We don't need the welding torch tool, so we'll keep the vehicle backup tool out. Okay, we don't need that though. Oops. I think the iron ore is way heavier than the Yep, that's what it was. Okay, so the iron ore is way too heavy for we're gonna have to like specifically make that loop for just iron ore. So you're gonna see very quickly in the game why it is that you're gonna want to have this trigger wire and some of the other abilities like the Empress's wings. Because you're just going to be able to traverse these areas a lot easier. See that? I'm gonna leave picking up this stuff till I come back. How about that? Because picking up these items is gonna be problematic. So we do need to do that second trial, but I want to go over here and complete these contracts. So what I'm gonna do is essentially loop over here and then loop back down along these rock paths and stuff like that to go complete the second trial to unlock things. Because we don't have anything like we don't have enough research points anymore. Like I could go with this still suit, but really not needed. I do need to get to this wind trap, because the wind trap is going to be how we collect but you can see it's steel ingots, and it wants 90 of those damn steel ingots. That's a lot, man. That is a lot. But I also want this Holtzman shield. We'll probably end up picking up one. But we're gonna need some of that stuff, because we're gonna need a Holtzman shield for sure. I don't think I want heavy armor from the Karab. We'll have to see where we go with those. I probably should not have spent those points on a Pincer shield and instead went for these heavy. Jesus, there's going to be a lot of building that's going to have to happen. Ooh, look at that. Holy crap, man. Oh, shit. Stupid. That was dumb. All right, let's go snag the stuff off this bike. Oh, somebody already got it. So, if you've noticed as well, the map has different heat levels and things like that that's going on with it as well. So, when we came into the zone, different radiation, different heat levels from what was over here in Haga Basin. So you're gonna have to account for that stuff. you're more than likely going to run into the same problems as well with higher level enemies at these bases, so you're gonna have to be mindful of that. Whew. I think that's players shooting at each other. Now we just gotta figure out how we gonna make this crossing. No, get off that. Because that is quite the gap. I didn't even realize that. It would have probably been easier now that I think about it. See, bad planning. To cross this gap would have probably been easier if we would have just went from here to here and then went to them. But let's do it. We'll see what happens. For this, I probably should have put the booster on.
No, not lost, sir. She's dead.
Tragic. Truly tragic. But they say the desert calls the weak.
My God, man, she was one of yours. Cousin, even.
I am indeed mourning, sir. Rumors of disloyalty buzzed around her like blowflies, but now, who's to say? Certainly not her.
My one pleasure in this hell is knowing that you're trapped here with me.
A momentary setback, I assure you.
Even your Harkonnen masters find you insufferable, Maxim. You're down here forever.
Tell me, dear Anton, what's it like being the handkerchief your superiors use to wipe the gore of Shining Atreides' honor?
Let's settle this.
Gladly.
By the laws of Canley.
By the laws of Canley.
By the laws of Canley.
Okay. Interesting.
Another innocent traveller, like every other scoundrel here. Got my eye on you, stranger. Friendly banter ain't worth the spit it costs in the gap. Get tough or get dead. Sooner you learn that, the later you'll croak.
Okay.
And I was hoping to retire 10 years ago. Name's Tig. I run this LO. Used to run spies for the Arks. Got tired of them. Got tired of taking orders. Sandflies wanted me, but I can't stomach their muling politics. Who? Not what. Lazy bastards, a lot of them. Hold up in the shield wall. Want to wage without doing the work. Give the rest of us Duners a bad name. You think an old-timer like me can't tap a keg? I do just fine. That's a mighty pretty way to say criminals. In here, they're meek as mice. I got the only spy spear in the gap. So, but, sure, some of them get to leave. Of course you do. I call it the anvil, because of the hammer. Only joke I ever made. If it's perishable, I don't stock it. That's all there is to tell. Don't give a spit about accumulating Solaris. Just want my own place. To be left alone. Yet you got more questions. It was always nice and quiet around here. Back when the Fremen were at Mirzabah. Nobody dared come near. The pogrom. They gutted the Fremen like animals. After that, the bandits all came crawling out of their holes. Now, can't well leave these cutthroats to starve, can I? They're regulars. Besides, who'd be fool enough to spread slander like that and you best make peace with your tongue? Guess that's not illegal. The Vermilius Gap? I ain't no mentat, but this desert and I are on intimate terms. No, that's because of the iron. Used to be a big industry here for it. You can still see some of the old rigs. Long, long ago, before the spice craze. Used to be the Fremen owned this patch of sand, till the Emperor had them all killed. That's when the blasted Kirobs slinked in. Most of them, sure. They'd rather die young, knife in hand. Older I get, the more sense I see in that. All of them, though? No. They're a tenacious lot. Scavengers turned bandits. Got to figure in slitting throats was the more reliable work. They rove in small nomadic bands. Well, they're rat bastards, but they're paying customers. We have a deal. They operate in the area, but cause no trouble here. Don't want to talk about it. Best quiet that question, lest you like a sucking chest wound. There's them two staring daggers at each other yonder. Spycraft recruiters for the Atreides and Harkonnen. Passive aggression makes me nethers itch. I appreciate the sycophancy. You take me for a tour guide. See that big rock shaped like a hammer? That's Mirzabah. Great view. Start there.
All right, let's see what
Still
he has
alive?
on him.
Not too bad. We had a bet going.
Oh, so he's got like some unique places as well. Oh my God. Look at this damn thing. Iron agates, 7. This one wants 26. Jesus. We don't need to purchase any of those. Oh, so this is how you can buy more furniture stuff too. So we've got the home furniture set. He sells it. This is going to be worth knowing because we've got the desk, the bookshelf, the wall partition, the wall art. He's got chair. He's got carpet. So this is, like I said, they're very. It's mostly about trying to get you to explore the areas, to unlock items in the game that you might want. Here, like, you know, bed drawers, side tables, couch modules, wardrobes, which is a lot different from per se like the way we had to do this in like Once Human, for instance, a lot of this was sold. Truth was sold. There were free versions of these things as well, but most of it was sold. You then collect whatever you need to collect to build, which you still have to do here, but a lot of this was sold. So let's see, we'll have to see how that ends up. Heal kits like darts, you got a blank sync chart. So one of the big pieces that's going to be there for the game essentially is the sync charts or cartography. So you need to get that passive from the planetologist if you want to do this, and basically you're going to be able to go and map out things and sell these sync charts to guilds, other players, so that way they can do their resource gathering from those as well. Medium blood sac. So he's got a Holtzman shield right here, and it's a Mark II for 5,800. Wait. Why is it buy 16,000? Oh, okay. I was clicked on something else. I was like, what the flip? The Holtzman shield is really good, especially if you're planning on doing anything. So I know when we make our way back, I want to have this. It's got EMF generators, mechanical parts, plasticil, off-world medical supplies. Okay. Complex machinery parts, fuel cells, plant fibers, and stuff like this. Now, whether it's worth it or not to purchase this, I'm gonna tell you probably not. If I'm being 100% honest with you, probably not. For me, I just want to have it on me, so I'm purchasing it. That's just the truth of the matter. So I'm gonna purchase that. You can sell him items as well. Now, don't go running around the desert necessarily with your shield activated that whole time, because you'll end up screwed. So let's deliver these items to him. Okay, we get a unique weapon from this. Steal from the thieves. Okay, so this is at Merzabah, so we'll accept that one. Okay, we'll accept this one as well. So that's at the Imperial Station. At some point we'll get there. A unique tool at the end. Whoa, finding Simo. Travel to the hand of Kadir. Okay. Ain't no reason to run from these. Clear out the first observation point. Clear out the second. This chain. Yep. Okay. We're going to accept all of those contracts, obviously. So we need to speak to Casimir. Who's this dude?
Don't know you from Adam. Slag up.
Yeah, I don't know you either.
Well, you look more capable than the average scum. This war of assassins has a way of making people into victims or victors. Which, no. Dear Anton over there? The poor sod was meant for the battlefield, not intrigue. He drank his own propaganda, and it's turning to poison in his guts. The business of espionage is often cold, but thanks to the laws of Canley, Anton and I have kept intimate enough closeness as to... I freely admit I mix my business and pleasure. One should not do these things judiciously. Relish your success, pardon me. Living in the heat and lingering Fremen stink erodes civility. I am Levenbrecht Maxim Kazmir, intelligence officer of Great House Harkonnen.
I haven't decided whether I want to join Harkonnen or Atreides, to be perfectly honest.
Strong prevail and free the weak from agency, delivering them to glorious submission. Which are you? Arrogance. I like that. It is the precursor. Regardless, you seem shrewder than my Atreides counterpart over there. Look at the... I'd call him a typical Atreides hypocrite. But dear, it seems you can both read and follow directions. We should get along famously. brazen and eager. I can work with that. I'd say it's about building trust, but this is a game of intrigue, so we'll deal in usefulness instead. You see, my last promising asset up and vanished while on the trail of an Atreides agent. Are they dead? The Atreides agent is the thing. Bring me all the information you can gather, and we may just allow you under the umbrella of our success. Speak
We're gonna accept
with
it.
Anton. Act agreeable. He will ask you for assistance. Accept his mission, but bring your...
Okay, so we'll do that, like, to do those quests, because it doesn't seem like I'm forced into
Do
it.
you aspire to contribute to something bigger than yourself? Care to join the right side of this war?
What you just witnessed was the product of 10 centuries of bad blood between House Atreides and House Harkonnen. Truer words. Truer words.
You're not wrong. That is the product of several years of bile between I and my loathsome counterpart over there. The laws of Canley prevent either of us from doing what our knives are so eager to do.
In accordance with the Great Convention, Canley is enactment of a formal feud. Its rules keep conflicts between the great houses more civilized.
Civilize.
I
The
am
High
Tom
Council.
Tolliver. I serve proudly as a soldier for House Atreides. However, my superiors deem me useful for more subtle operation. That we are. If you're interested, I'm just the man to talk to.
Duke Leto is the paragon example of all we stand for. Strength with wisdom, justice with generosity. Ours is a noble house, not only in blood, but in loyalty and honor. We've defended these values all the way back to ancient Greece on Old Terra. Then perhaps you are just the sword we're looking for. We endure as the Harkonnens have no honor, no values, no redeeming qualities. Their recruiter over there is a vile runoff of every one of their anti-virtues. These Samuda-addicted freaks will lie to you, exploit you.
I am of House Atreides. There is no call.
Call I do not answer. There is no faith that I betray.
My roots stretch back to the ancient mythologies of Earth. Aye, ancient stories go down sweeter than the bitter. Look over at my counterpart, Maxim. That vulgar... Any other questions? Very little of my time is free. I devote myself towards ending the Atreides broadcasts. After everything I've seen on Arrakis, the serials ring naive to me. My house seeks assets in this wretched war of assassins. I prefer open conflict. Trust is not an easy thing in a war of assassins, but I have a task that needs doing.
One of our undercover agents went missing. I fear Maxim is on to him. Bring me him or information on what became of him.
That's not important right now. Finding him quickly is. Find the agent. I'm giving you the coordinates to where he's holed up. Hope you like climbing. You'll have to do a bit of it to get to him.
So that should have been the contracts that we had. Anvil, scrap metal, planetologist. I really don't know which side I want to join. I'm leaning more towards Harkonnen just because I have this sneaking suspicion everyone is going to join the Atreides.
Someone new. Are you by chance looking for banter or legal advice? You may call me Amadi Ikeni. I serve the interests of House Tseda on Arrakis. I myself am from the minor house of Ikeni. We are a Tseda House minor, and a very specialized one at that. House Ikeni acts as the sole legal representatives of the Tsedan royal family. We specialize in imperial law as it pertains to the governing of houses and the conduct of nobility. We defend the Tsedan name.
So, for those that don't know, you basically have the great houses and then you have the minor houses, and the minor houses and the great houses make up the Landstrad. and then beneath the Landsrat, or governing the Landsrat, is the High Council. So you'll have all of these like houses that are greater and minor small, so it's kind of like old. You know, like it's weird to think 10,000 in the future we're still dealing with fiefdoms and things like that. But yeah, so they're there. House Seda, they didn't play any major role from what I remember in the books. I don't even remember them really mention that much, but yeah.
In a chaotic universe of so many winding paths, is there anything else you'd like to know about me? The Anvil is a unique melting pot where enemies gather together. And what a fine place to offer legal advice, where even the most aggrieved parties not only share the same room. In particular, there are many see Seda as the least conventional of the great houses. Some call us enigmatic. We were the staunchest supporters of the Butlerian Jihad. In truth, we rose in power too quickly, occasioning the other houses to form weedy gardens of envy in their minds and hearts. Several houses formed an anti-Sadan league, disseminating malicious propaganda which haunts our image But we march on. House Seda is the forerunner in legal consultation in the Empire. Our unparalleled mastery of law is sought out for criminal proceedings, Canley disputes, and Butlerian infractions.
So that should be interesting to see where we go from here with her.
I presume you have some business with...
I doubt that that's going to be the third faction note. So okay. So we essentially have met everyone, it looks like. We've got our Holtzman shield, power pack, and our Emperor's wing, which looks like it's going to need some repair here soon. Caliph's, Aaron's vengeance, and we got Sim's cutter. Let's sort these items out. Okay. It's the iron ore is going to be something that we have to. So let's see. Where on our marker are we going? So this is the missing spy location. Then we've got the stealing from the thieves' den over here just above our base. That is actually a really hard area to do, which is why I wanted my shield. And then we have the hostile takeover for Imperial Station over here. What we are going to do, however, is go to this area. We'll actually make our way into this location right here first, and then we'll make our way down to there. So you get to meet all of these people. Hopefully that becomes the fleshing out of this greater Dune universe, where we get to see more of these houses and how they meshed in the Landsrat. One thing that you don't get from the Dune movies is exactly images of all the smugglers, the Landsrat, the High Council, and even to some degree you don't really get a good in-depth knowledge of all the guilds that play contributing factors to the story of Dune, whether they're the Mentats, the Talaxalu, I can never say their names right, the Spacing Guild. You get images of those from Denis Villeneuve's work. You get more of it from the sci-fi series, Frank Herbert's Children of Dune and Dune. You don't get any of it from David Lynch's Dune from 1984. So you would really have to read the books to quite understand some of those things. So I think they've done a good job of introducing that to you very early here in the game. And my hope is that as we expand the universe, maybe we end up off-world from this planet and we get to see some of the other great planets or great houses planets as well. That'd be very interesting, but hopefully we get there.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
All right, so we're gonna have to wait out this sandstorm because there's no way we're dipping out of here while a sandstorm's going on. And it might even just be like, you saw what happens to that dude's bike. I think it's worse if you get caught by the sandstorm than it is if you get eaten by the worm. But, you know, that's up for you to figure out. I have no inclination to make any death. None whatsoever. Yeah, so we'll wait that sandstorm out. In terms of skills that we've learned, we have the planetologist inside of there. So if you were looking at basically doing the sync charts and making your way into there, you're going to have to do your stuff from here as well to unlock that. So you can see here's the cartographer. You're going to have to now be able to do that to create sync charts and stuff like that. So you're going to, at the very least, if you want to help yourself with what he was talking about, which is some of this traversal, for instance, one of the things that you might want to do is make an investment here into the suspensor pad, because the suspensor pad with the Emperor's wings along with the sugar wire is going to really help you, you know, really create some of those hurdles. Because the way it works here is like you drop a suspensor device and you don't really drop one, you don't see it really, but it's an ability. So like whatever, you're going to drop basically a pad that basically goes down. The sugar wire can then be used while you're to gain more distance while you're in the air, and then the Empress wings will allow you to carry yourself even further. So if you can imagine, think of it as a triple jump, you know, suspensor pad, sugar wire, Empress wings. We also have to, at some point here, learn or find more of these schools. So we'll have to get to there. The Sword Master is one of those that we want to get to. I think I'm going to actually learn the suspensor pad, but I don't have the abilities to unlock this one yet. This is the reason why we're going to go. This is the reason why we're going to go to the second trial, because you're going to need these trials in order to unlock more of the missions and stuff like that. The Ganima Cavern. That's funny. Ganima is the name of Paul's daughter. He ends up with two daughters, Leto and Ganima. Leto the second and Ganima. Ganima, or whatever how you say it. We are only in iron area, so that should have made sense to me that I shouldn't have picked the items that were in steel products. Now we can get out and we can go. think I'm going out the wrong door. Yeah, I'm going out the wrong door. Oh, you know what? That was a huge breach. So we can activate our Holtzman shield, get our knife out.
Found them.
Shit. Oh, damn. Ran out of power. So you can see, like, that's how they're going to effectively do that. Ooh. Oh, Hunter Seeker to me, bro. What the hell just happened here? What the fuck is going on? Oh. Something's not right.
Enemy sighted.
Okay. Well, we'll get the hell out of there because I don't know why I'm not able to hit and getting hit. But I want none of that. A lot of bases over here. This must be a guild. We do need fuel cells. Let's get in the shade. Oh shit. Oh damn.
Shields up.
Bastards. I'm gonna need to drink some of that. They don't be playing, man. Like I told you, it's weird because you play Haga Basin, and I think like they did themselves a disservice by having just like Haga Basin play the large majority role, because realistically there's so much more that's happening in the game than what Haga Basin had, and that's what they showed. It's just like, yeah, why? This is why they stayed here. There's a lot of iron ore. I think I could make that, but I'm not gonna risk it. We'll just... some rubber banding going on there. What I should have done is look to have made some Mark IIs. But I was trying to help that dude out so he could have some water since his car got destroyed. Thought there. Shit, get out of there. All right. So here we are. We've made it to the second trial area. Let's cut this. It's just iron ore staring at me in my face, so I was like, let's get some of that. But we've made it into the second trial, so let's go sniff some more spice. Oh shit, forgot about that. Why do they show? I wonder why it is that the game doesn't allow you to see yourself. Because they just put the starter car helmet on me. Like I have it off, set to non-visible. And then we go in here and clearly that's not me either. Or it's supposed to be, I guess, rather. Being Lakaifa.
What is the purpose of thought? Ibn Qutayba. Speed is a device of shaitan. Do you understand?
Wallah. Wallahi.
Our God gave us the gift of thought, and the words of the Kitab al-Ibar. Knowledge without action is empty. Being a kaifa. Our wanderings brought us to Rasa, where we persecute. Our families burned in the fires of their ignorance. We learn the cost of inaction. Never to forgive, never to forget.
What? playing loose with the rules there. Bila Kaifa. Hey, go with God.
Some were sent to work in mines. The tunnels were unstable. The cost of action. Never to forgive. Never to forget.
Nothing's over here.
Not all action leads to desirable outcomes. Be wary of the ghafla, the distraction. Shaitan loves wasted effort. It was on Rosek that the Sayadina created the poison drug. Words. To put an action command, we learned to create.
I think I died a couple of times doing this.
God is a fearful thing. Did not God give us Shaitan to force action?
Stuck on a rock.
Ibn Kirtaiba. Thought and action lead to creation. What is the purpose of thought? To honor the Creator. Remember Rosek. Bila Kaifa. What is the purpose of thought? To honor the Creator. Remember Rosek. Bila Kaifa.
So it's really odd because all the awakenings seem like they're taking us on this historical journey of the Zen Sunni, or like the Fremen. That's what they were. So it seems as if though the story elements are largely generated around you awakening memories to the Fremen's journey throughout. So you go from, I think we did Harmenhep, now we did Rosak. We'll see what's next. Well, there we go. Like pretty easy, like in terms of that. So it's basically giving you now the flower sand. So it wants me to refine some damn ore, upgrading the mining tool. I don't want to. So we're gonna have to do this because we need flower sand to make silicon blocks, and a lot of the items are gonna call for silicon blocks. So now we're gonna go find all these little places that we're gonna essentially need to harvest silicon blocks from. So that should be fun. Let's figure out, I think, does it actually give me that item that I just used? Or I might have to craft it. No, that's the survey kit. Didn't give it to me. So, okay, so we gotta refine some iron ore. So I guess at this point, your dealer's choice in it. Do you want to go get the quest over here from the missing spy, or do you go back over here to Karab? We're going to make our journey over here to the missing spot. So let's continue our journey. We're going to make our way over here to the missing spy and figure out what this dude has in store. Wait, did I go? Yeah, I went up the wrong way. So you end up in these battles. As well, like the battles become like scalingly different, just in that, not like, I wouldn't still say like terribly more difficult. Oh, looks like somebody's been here. Kind of hoping to get some. Oh yeah, their bike is right here. Whoa. So you see what I mean by like just having this, and I don't even have the dispenser pad. as of yet. So having the suspensor pad, the sugar wire, and this is very helpful. What's this? This iron, I think. I gotta stop looting it, but I want it.
Day 5 surveillance report. Harkonnen hard target 42M. The facility maintains round-the-clock house shielding. The shield has dropped briefly on 2 occasions since the last report. In both cases, it was to facilitate the landing of courier-thopters. I understand that locating Captain Skorda is now my #1 priority, but so far, I've seen no one matching his description. I'm maintaining careful surveillance. Update. I must express my concerns about the tenability of this position. A few hours ago, I observed a hawk with binoculars, having a good hard look in this direction. Don't know if I've made or not, but my relief is now overdue. We'll keep watch as long as possible. Atreides.
So this is what I meant by like the world. There's so many people in it that I remember when I played before, it didn't feel this lived in, but you end up running into a lot of places where people have literally just been, and you end up without the experience of killing those people in that area. So to that degree, I can see maybe like some problems there depending on how you feel about that. And you know, I don't know. I guess in my opinion, I feel it somewhat problematic because I don't think that that's great for the game, for players not to experience large swaths and pieces of it. But yeah, you know. All right, so we're going back to home base. I'm not going to check out the wreck. Well, you know what? Let's go to this arena place right here. I really don't want to be honest. That looks so beautiful.
Who's there? Shield on. I need back armor.
Jesus Christ. Jeez Louise, they were like so intent on killing me. She even came out a ways. Nah, we'll just go back to the base. But something as simple as that. So watch, I'm going to use the sugar wire. On the way up, I'm going to use the Empress wings. That might have been too far. Yeah, you got to be careful about this. I got to get more of the Holtzman going. But you can see how that, like... You can see what I mean by, like, having the sugar wire... mirrored with that is going to be really helpful for you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cross here at the wreck, so let's go there. Somebody's built their base right here. And got a buggy already. Nice. He's been at it. You can see parts where the sand's like redder, and that's like that drum sand that I'm running over. Okay. We still don't have a whole hell of a lot of blood or water, and we really could use a what you call it. So at max we can go is like 10 here. Let's just craft one because it'll jump the quest, and I can't remember how many exactly we need, but we need a lot of water. Handheld resource scanner. Oh yeah. I forgot that that was going to be a requirement. That's this one. But you need that tool to gather it, and I don't think I have that tool. Or is it already in the fabricator? There it is, right there. So we need that static compactor. So we need 10 iron ingots. And then we need the resource scanner as well. So how many is that? Jesus Christ. So we pretty much need 19, 20 iron ingots. So let's make these iron ingots. We're gonna have to make 20 of them, so we'll wait for the water to store up, because we're gonna need to make a static compactor, and you're gonna need to make a static compactor and then the resource scanner as well. Personally, I feel like they should make those items weigh nothing and take up no resources inside of or slots inside your thing, because they're asking you to carry so many of these damn resource tools with you that it becomes hard and you become too encumbered to carry everything else. But we're gonna need a water thing for cistern. Like it's just, look at that, 50 water to create a steel ingot. $25 water just to create one iron ingot. 50 to create a steel ingot. We are going to have to collect a lot of water. We're gonna make major modifications to this base as we go along. See, we need iron ingots for this. Just to make an improved blood purifier, you need 50 iron ingots. That's a lot of water. And then you need silicon blocks as well, 16 of them, and complex machinery. We're going to be grinding quite a bit. It's going to be a heavy grind here. Wait, storage, what is this? 20 iron ingots to make that storage. And then you can see here to make the water cistern to store it, but we're not generating enough storage at this point. So large blood bags, things like that is stuff that we're gonna need. Let me see if what we can fabricate right now. I gotta move this because the door is gonna keep opening and that just invites people into my place. Let's craft 5 of these. No, we don't want to use those iron ingots for that. That was just plant fibers. There we go. All right. So we're gonna need to equip a resource scanner and a static compactor. Oh, Jesus Christ. Cheese and rice. I've got this improvised one on. And unfortunately the improvised, do I have another one that's in here? Let's find out. The improvised one is only 100, so we can't use it. We got rid of all of them. We're gonna have to craft one. The Mark II requires iron ingots, of course. All right, so we've got our Mark II finally. Okay. We've got a, we'll have to equip that one here, Power Pack Mark II, because we need that to power our handheld resource scanner. And then our Holtzman shield, 115% from that. That's the reason why that one wasn't working for us. So we got 150 here. That allows us just one scan for that. Okay, it is what it is. Let's go out now and see about using these devices. All right, so we got a 5. Let's stay in the shade for this. See if we can't find any flower fields. My man was like coming. He was like, come here. Okay, there it goes. Let me see. So I think that white one over there, like you can see it out in the distance right there, that should be what a flower field looks like. Oh shit. That would have been bad. Ran right into that. What the fuck just happened? What in the hell just happened? My man does not want me to get that spice.
I've got you covered.
Jesus, buddy. Alright, one of these has got to be the way to get it. What?
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Whew. He did not want me to have that stuff, man. Alright, so we gotta go back over here to our base because of this sandstorm, and then we'll come back out.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Let's see, how much did we get from those 2 runs? So not bad. We got like 90 of them from 2 shots.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Jesus, look at this. More damn water. $50 per silicon block. We're gonna be having to harvest a lot of water. So the weird part is, like, we don't really need this resource scanner to look for those maps. You get enough of an indicator that they're there already. So why have this item? It's just taking up inventory space at this point, because I can simply just use the static compactor and be good. They are way more active in this region than they were in Paga Basin. Shit. I'm outie. Sorta car. Damn it, and now the sun's out. Oh, I did not realize they stayed there. Holy shit. I do not remember these costing iron agates during the beta. All right, guys, I gotta take a break. We'll probably hop back on as we continue this, but wow. Okay.